Hi, and welcome back to Lizard Studios. Today we have a really neat class because we are going to be making printing blocks to write your name, okay? We're going to learn a little bit about the history of the printing blocks, and we are also going to be making some of those blocks to use in the next session to print with, okay? So let's begin by getting our materials out on the table. Okay, so here's what you need for today. You need cereal boxes that you already have at your house, or cookie boxes or cracker boxes, or any type of box that you could use, okay? Cardboard. You're gonna need glue. You're gonna need scissors, small scissors or big scissors. I'm gonna use these today. You're gonna need a ruler. Today we're using a ruler because we need to measure today. A permanent marker, if you want to use a permanent marker, or a pencil, either one. And then you're gonna need some of this foamy material that you could buy anywhere really to make things, okay? But it's a little bit thick. If you don't have this foamy material that is really easy to cut, you could also do this with board, okay? With some cardboard, all right? Because we're gonna be making the relief of the printing blocks with this, okay? Like, this is a little bit thicker than the cardboard, that's why I like this, but you could use the cardboard also and it will be fine. All right, so let's begin today's lesson by telling you a little bit about the print. What is a print? Well, when you take a book, all of this is a print, you see? When you take a book, what we read inside of it is print, okay? That's print. It's a printing press that makes those books. But where did that come from? Look, this is also a print. This is made by a machine that prints it one color at a time, and then we get the card boxes, okay? But where did it come from? Was a book always here since prehistoric times? No. The first people that made paper, it wasn't actually paper, the one that we use today. It was called papyrus, okay? And they were the Egyptians. They made like a flat leaf of papyrus, okay? They pressed it down and they would draw on them, and they would do their hieroglyphics. They would draw all their hieroglyphics, the symbols that represented the letters and the things that they did. They drew them, they painted on the papyrus, okay? That had to be done by hand. When stories were written down, they were written down by hand because there was no printing press back then, okay? So what the priests would do, this would usually be priests, the ones that would write it, they would take one book and they will copy the book exactly the same, and then that book will be taken somewhere else, and somewhere else in Europe there were other printing presses where they would also copy the books. But how did that come about, the printing press? Well, around the year 1000 in China, printing blocks were made. And what is a printing block? Well, I'm going to show you what a printing block is. A printing block was one letter placed on like a little square, and that letter will be pressed down and the block will be printed. That's what we're going to be making today. We are going to be making your name, like a huge printing block, okay? And then we are going to be stamping, we're going to be printing your name, okay, on another piece of paper. So let's begin making those blocks, all right? And then you'll see that you're gonna be able to print many times with the same block that you make. So the first thing that we need to do is cut up your box, okay? So we're gonna cut out the box, okay, the squares, and pretty much you cut out the front of the box and you leave it like this, okay? I already have one cut here, so I'm gonna use this one. And then the sides of the box, you're gonna use those two to put the actual letters on them, to glue it. So like I have it here, look, here and here. So this is going to be my printing block that I'm going to do, all right? Now, I need to take my foamy paper and I'm gonna make the letters here. So what I need to do, if this is gonna be my printing block, okay, what I need to do is just to see how big this is to make my letters fit, okay? So this is from 0 to, this is like 27 and I have 28, let's say, okay? So it's 5, 5, 5, 5. I think I'm gonna make my letters 5 centimeters big, okay, wide. So I am going to take my foamy paper right here, okay, and I am going to measure up to 5 right here, and I am going to make a dot right here, okay, and I am going to measure to 5 right here and just make a dot, okay. And look what I do. I put my, I'm gonna close this because I could do it with a pencil. I'm sure you could see it with a pencil, right? Let's see if you can see it with a pencil. And I'm gonna make a line. See the line? Right there, the line. And now I am going to continue putting my ruler on that line like this, straight, and then I could continue the line all the way to the other side. Whee! I drew on my table, it's okay. All right, now from here I could make all the letters that I need. So you could share, if you have a big piece of foam, you could share with your classmates. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this, and I'm gonna put this to the side, and now I'm gonna measure 5 centimeters again. 5 and 5, and I'm gonna make them all square, okay? Because the first printing blocks were squares, okay? So that's what I want to do. I want to make squares. There we go. And then I think this is 5 also. Oh, more or less. Yes, perfect. It's like 5. All right, and I am going to cut these. I'm gonna cut as many as Liz Art, which are Liz Art 6 letters, okay? So I need 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember, do your name, or if you want to write the word love, or happy, or smile, anything like that, you can write, okay? The next thing that I'm going to do is write the letters here, but in block print. How do we do that? Well, you do the letter in the middle, okay? I'm gonna do it with marker so you can see, okay? You write the letter in the middle like this. Liz Art. Very big, okay? Very big, like this. And now, what are we going to do? We're gonna go around it and make it blocky, okay? Like a block. Or you can make it like a circle, okay? So I'm gonna make here like a block. Very good. So what are we going to do next? Well, now we have to cut around the letters and leave the letters alone, okay? So just watch me as I cut. Now, when you need to make a hole, just fold it like this, okay? Fold it a little bit, you make an incision, and then from there you can put the scissors through it. That's why I like this foamy material so much, because it's very easy to cut, okay? Very easy to bend and cut. It's not like cardboard. Okay, so here we go. So now I have here my Liz Art letters. But what happens if I glue them like that and I turn it around? What's gonna happen? Well, I'm gonna have the name backwards. So I actually have to put everything backwards. So look at me. This is very, you need to pay attention to how to do this, okay? So this is what the Chinese people would do. They would put their blocks, okay? You put the actual glue, and the last letter, okay, is the first one right here. You see? Then the next letter, and you have to turn it completely around. It doesn't stay, it's not like you put it looking like you could read it. No, no, no. It has to be a mirror image, so it has to be backwards. Just like this, see? So all the letters you have to turn around. I mean, there are some like the A that, I mean, it doesn't matter, but just get used to turning it around. So like that, you have all the letters completely well placed, okay? And now you have to turn this one around. So it's gonna look weird at first, but that's the way that the first print got made. And after this, a whole entire book was cut out of wood, because the print blocks, a whole book got printed out of wood. The wood blocks, they will be wood blocks. The first blocks that were made, they were not in these materials, they were in wood. They will carve out the letters, the Chinese people will carve out the letters, and then they would have a whole entire block to print at the same time, like a whole entire page to print one at a time. Okay, so here we go. Now, it looks kind of strange like this, but if you actually took this and printed on that side, then you will have it correct. And that's what we're going to be doing next time. I'm going to be showing you how that works. But today, I need you to take your print, your block, and I need you to put it away, because it has to dry, because if the paint goes on here and it's not dry, the letters will fall off. So you need to at least leave this for one day so it could dry, and then you could do your prints. Okay? So what have we done today? Well, today we have talked about how actual writing came about, how printing came about. Okay? First, the Egyptians made papyrus, and they actually wrote on the paper, on the papyrus, and we still have some of those. I mean, we still have those to look at museums, so we could go there and see them. Then, the Chinese people invented block print, and with this block print, they could print faster, like a whole sheet of paper, which we are going to be doing next time, printing, okay? And then after this, the printing press came about, and that just printed faster and faster and faster, and now we have books, and now we have internet, and we have all these devices, telephones, iPads, that we could look on and read on, okay? Everything has evolved so quickly. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I am so excited about the next lesson that we're going to be printing, and I'll see you then. Be good, stay safe, and let your work dry. All right? Bye-bye.